Fresh headlines about American journalist and TV host Tamron Hall are exploding everywhere, but what's brewing beneath the surface is way more shocking. From the deep heartbreak of losing her sister to the chaos that followed her exit from NBC, Tamron's story isn't just about success, it's layered with pain, whispers, and controversy. Lately, Tamron Hall's name has been dragged into new drama after reports claim she admitted to facilitating the sale of something questionable during a taping of the Tamron Hall show. The footage was allegedly pulled before it ever aired, sparking rumors about what really happened behind the scenes. Add that to the whispers of a toxic work environment, complaints about unfair staff layoffs, and even online critics coming for her looks, and it's no surprise the public can't stop talking. Her journey to fame has been a wild ride, filled with triumphs, heartbreaks, and scandals that only a few people truly know. Behind her confident smile is a life shaped by challenges that could break anyone. Born in Luling, Texas in 1970, Tamron grew up in a hard-working home. Her mom worked in education while her stepdad served proudly in the U.S. Army, a household built on discipline and strength. Life in that small Texas town seemed peaceful on the surface, but young Tamron's eyes were always locked on people, their stories, and the hidden truths that others overlooked. New buzz around Tamron Hall has the media going wild, but the truth behind her story runs much deeper than the headlines ever show. From the unbearable heartbreak of losing her sister to the career chaos that followed a shocking NBC exit, Tamron's journey has been anything but smooth. There are even quiet whispers about a messy chapter from her teenage years that some say still haunts her. Things got extra heated when reports claimed Tamron admitted to facilitating a controversial deal during a taping of the Tamron Hall show. Sources say that episode was yanked before it ever hit the air, leaving fans wondering what was too explosive to broadcast. On top of that, there are whispers about a toxic work environment, questions about how COVID-19 safety was handled, claims of unfair staff layoffs, and endless online chatter about her appearance. The spotlight on her has been merciless. Still, it's obvious Tamron's rise to fame has been fueled by triumph, heartbreak, and scandal, a mix only a few people truly understand. Every success she's had came with a storm she had to survive. Tamron Hall was born in Luling, Texas back in 1970. Her mom worked hard in education while his stepdad proudly served in the U.S. Army, a household built on discipline and strength. Life in that small Texas town looked calm on the surface, but young Tamron's eyes were always locked on people, their stories, and the hidden truths that others overlooked. She said she learned early how to read a room, a skill that made her a powerhouse in every newsroom she entered. Her dad encouraged her too, pointing out strong women journalists who proved that she could make her mark in the media world. After graduating high school, Tamron chased her dreams at Temple University in Philadelphia, majoring in broadcast journalism. College cracked open the door to the life she always wanted. She graduated in 1992 and jumped straight into the grind of local news at KBTX in Bryan, Texas. She covered everything, from crime and car crashes to weather emergencies and community events. The hours were wild, but she never broke under pressure. By 1994, she had moved on to KTVT in Fort Worth, spending 4 years building a name, connecting with people from every corner of life. Texas gave Tamron her roots, but it was Chicago that turned her into a rising star everyone started talking about. In 1997, Tamron Hall landed a major gig at WFLD in Chicago, and that move flipped her whole career into high gear. For the next 10 years, she hustled through every role they could throw at her: general reporter, consumer reporter, and even host of the long-running morning show Fox News in the Morning. The city's fiery politics and non-stop breaking news scene sharpened her like never before. She even covered huge stories, including one of Illinois' worst Amtrak disasters, a report that tested her strength under pressure. The grind never stopped, but Tamron refused to crack. Viewers all over Chicago started recognizing her voice, steady, confident, and impossible to ignore. She built tight connections across the city, got familiar with its political heavyweights, and mastered the art of tough interviews that left no question untouched. People began to trust her face on their screens, and that trust became her power. Chicago became her testing ground, the place where she proved she could hang with the big players. The fast pace, the deadlines, the chaos, she handled it all like a pro. And it wasn't long before national networks took notice. By 2007, Tamron made the bold leap to MSNBC and NBC News, and everything changed overnight. She wasn't just talking to one city anymore, she was speaking to the entire nation. At first, she juggled general reporting with fill-in anchoring, showing off a calm presence and razor-sharp questions. Her breakup moment came when she filled in for Keith Olbermann on Countdown, and she crushed it. Viewers loved her composure, and the network realized she wasn't just a backup, she was born to anchor her own show. Tamron Hall's climb didn't slow down for a second. She took on The Big Picture with David Schuster, a political show that ran from 2009 to early 2010, and it kept her right in the heart of the national spotlight. Even then, she was still grinding hard, covering breaking national stories, jumping in as a fill-in anchor whenever needed, and proving that she could handle anything thrown her way. The workload was intense, but Tamron thrived under the chaos. She loved being right where the action was, in the middle of the country's biggest conversations. All that training from her early Texas roots and her Chicago hustle was paying off big time. She could think on her feet, stay cool under pressure, and deliver with clarity no matter how wild things got behind the camera. But while her career was glowing brighter than ever, her personal life was starting to darken. Behind that perfect on-screen smile, a storm was brewing, one that would quietly follow her for years. She might have looked flawless to viewers, but off-camera, life was getting heavy. By the late 2000s, Tamron had fully stepped onto the national stage, bouncing between major assignments at MSNBC and NBC News. She built a strong rep for professionalism and unshakable calm, even when the pressure was high sky. Her breakthrough moment came when she filled in for Keith Olbermann on Countdown, and that's when people really took notice. Viewers were drawn to her sharp questions, her presence, and that unfiltered honesty that made her stand out. Soon after, she co-hosted The Big Picture with David Schuster, covering some of the country's biggest events, and her rise seemed unstoppable. While her career was soaring as high as ever, her personal life was marked by heartbreaking pain that never truly faded. In 2004, her sister Renata was found dead in her backyard pool under violent and mysterious circumstances, a tragedy that remains unsolved to this very day. The loss shattered Tamron, leaving her with a deep sense of guilt for not stepping in sooner when she saw signs of trouble in her sister's relationships. It was a wound that would shape her forever. That devastating moment changed the way Tamron approached her work. Her grief turned into a driving force behind her passion for Deadline Crime, the powerful show she would later host, focusing on real homicide cases and giving a voice to victims whose stories were too often ignored. Even before Deadline Crime, Tamron's emotions occasionally surfaced on air. During her time at Today, she covered domestic violence stories, and one particular segment hit home. While reporting on survivors, she broke down slightly on camera, connecting their experiences to a sister's painful story. The clip spread fast online, sparking mixed reactions. Some viewers praised her for being brave enough to show her heart on live TV, saying it made her reporting more real and human. Others, however, questioned whether such raw emotion belonged in a live broadcast, proving once again that Tamron's life, even in her most vulnerable moments, never escaped public debate. No matter how viewers felt about her emotional side, one thing was clear: Tamron had finally shown the world the human behind the headlines. She'd spent years keeping her composure in the chaos of live TV, but this moment cracked that perfect image just enough to remind everyone she was real. Around this time, Tamron dropped another shocking confession, one that took fans by surprise. On her talk show, she opened up about a mistake from her college years, revealing that when she was 19, she once helped a boyfriend facilitate a transaction. She was quick to make one thing clear: she never dealt drugs or engaged in anything illegal. She simply connected people, and it was something she deeply regretted. Tamron said, "I shared a story about a bad situation I got myself into when I was 19. I never dealt drugs. I'm now nearly 50 years old and was reflecting on a bad judgment call that could have turned worse." She said her goal wasn't to glamorize it, but to remind people that even good decisions can come from learning from bad ones. But the internet ran wild with the story. Headlines twisted the context, and social media erupted with criticism and curiosity. Suddenly, Tamron's personal life was back under the microscope. Every move, every word, every past moment reanalyzed and debated. Despite the noise, Tamron's career didn't slow down. It actually got bigger. She became the face of News Nation with Tamron Hall, anchoring major national stories like the final space shuttle launch and Hurricane Isaac. Viewers connected to her honest, conversational tone. She spoke like someone who'd lived through storms and came out stronger. Still, beneath that polished professionalism, Tamron was carrying heavy weight: grief from her sister's death, endless public scrutiny, and the constant pressure of being a national figure. Her time at NBC and MSNBC was a whirlwind of triumphs and private battles, a mix that shaped every step of the bold new chapter she was about to create. By 2010, Tamron Hall had her own spotlight, launching News Nation with Tamron Hall, a weekday afternoon show that pulled in viewers from everywhere. The show covered everything from breaking national stories to world events and even hot entertainment headlines. Tamron wasn't just reading the news, she was shaping the conversation, bringing a sharp but relatable energy that people couldn't get enough of. She reported live from Ground Zero after the death of Osama bin Laden, anchored gripping coverage during Hurricane Isaac in 2012, and even broadcasted as the final space shuttle took off into history. Tamron also invited viewers into the action, asking them to jump on social media and share their opinions on controversial stories, making the news feel personal and alive. Her calm tone under pressure and a down-to-earth style made her one of the most trusted faces on TV. But while her career was climbing higher than ever, Tamron was still quietly battling deep pain behind the scenes, the lingering heartbreak over her sister's tragic death. She refused to let that pain go to waste, though. Instead, she turned it into purpose, creating Deadline Crime in 2013, a show dedicated to digging into unsolved homicides and exposing the real human cost behind violent crimes. Each episode featured 2 intense cases, and Tamron and her team went all in, interviewing families, chasing leads, and searching for truth wherever it hid. Tamron Hall has often said her drive behind Deadline Crime came straight from the pain of losing a sister, transforming her grief into powerful investigative journalism that sought justice for others. The show ran for 6 gripping seasons and became a defining part of her career, mixing her sharp on-air professionalism with her personal mission to give victims and their families a voice. By 2014, Tamron's star power was undeniable. She made history when she joined Today as co-anchor of the show's third hour, becoming the first African-American woman ever to hold that position. She walked onto that set radiating confidence, wearing a jacket once owned by the legendary singer and activist Lena Horne, a bold tribute to the strong women who came before her. But behind the smiles and success, not everything was smooth sailing. Life inside NBC's walls came with tension and politics. In 2017, her co-hosting spot was suddenly handed over to Megyn Kelly, a decision that left Tamron blindsided. Rather than accept a smaller role, she walked away at the end of a contract, choosing dignity over compromise. Later interviews revealed that she felt pushed out, but instead of letting it break her, she turned that pain into power, fueling her next big move. Around this same time, Tamron teamed up with Harvey Weinstein to develop her own daytime show, but that plan came crashing down fast when the Weinstein scandal exploded. Still, even in chaos, Tamron didn't stop. She was just getting ready to flip the narrative and rise again. After the collapse of her partnership with Weinstein, Tamron wasn't about to give up. She came back swinging, determined to bring her vision to life on her own terms. She hustled to find new backing and eventually locked in a massive deal with Disney's domestic television. That move took serious grit. She had to rebuild her dream from the ground up, negotiating every detail while proving she could hold her own in a cutthroat industry. All that hard work paid off big time when her syndicated talk show Tamron Hall finally premiered in 2019. It launched with ABC coverage across 47 of the top 50 U.S. markets, a massive win that put her face back on daytime TV screens everywhere. But even as she celebrated the success, controversy followed close behind. Some early staff members accused her of fostering a toxic work environment during the show's chaotic first season.
Others resurfaced old stories, including that college anecdote she had already addressed and long-circulating online rumors about her personal life. The media pounced, eager to stir up drama around her comeback. Tamron didn't stay silent, though. She addressed the claims head-on, denying false reports and offering context when needed. She never hid her humanity. Instead, she used it to connect with audiences even more deeply. Viewers saw a woman who had faced tragedy, gossip, and career upheaval, yet still stood tall every day in front of the camera. By the time Tamron Hall became a certified hit, she had earned multiple Daytime Emmy nominations and even took home her first win for Outstanding Informative Talk Show Host. Critics praised her for her ability to dig into tough conversations while keeping things authentic and real. Her show also scored big with NAACP Award nominations and a Gracie Award, solidifying Tamron Hall as not just a survivor of the spotlight, but one of the most influential women still commanding it. By 2019, Tamron Hall was officially in her power era, stepping out fully on her own and proving she could run the show, literally. Her self-titled program, Tamron Hall, premiered with massive ABC coverage across nearly every major U.S. market, giving her the platform she'd always dreamed of. From the very first episode, she made it clear this wasn't just another talk show. It was a place for real stories, real people, and real conversations that hit home. Her hosting style was easy to love, direct, warm, and refreshingly honest. Tamron wasn't afraid to take on tough topics or welcome guests with strong, different opinions. Every episode felt like a conversation that mattered, not just another segment on daytime TV. The authenticity drew people in fast, earning her multiple Daytime Emmy nominations and eventually her first win for Outstanding Informative Talk Show Host. But while her professional life was glowing, her personal world was transforming too. She'd been dating music executive Steven Greener since 2017, and their connection moved fast. They moved in together after just 3 weeks and tied the knot in early 2019. That same year brought her greatest joy, the birth of her son, Moses. Tamron opened up about how emotional that journey had been, revealing that her pregnancy was considered high risk due to her age and past struggles with fertility. She'd battled through years of IVF treatments and heartbreak before finally holding her baby boy in her arms. She spoke candidly about those challenges, the waiting, the worry, the hope, giving comfort to countless women who'd faced the same silent struggle. It was one more layer of Tamron Hall's story: strength, vulnerability, and victory, all wrapped into one unstoppable woman. Fans couldn't get enough of Tamron Hall's honesty. Her openness about her fertility journey broke barriers and helped countless women feel seen, turning a once taboo topic into a powerful conversation about hope and resilience. But even in the middle of those beautiful milestones, Tamron found herself caught in new waves of controversy that kept her name in the headlines. In 2020, reports surfaced claiming that around 20 staff members had been fired from the Tamron Hall show during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Some accused the production of unfair treatment and mismanagement, sparking a frenzy online. Tamron didn't stay quiet. She shut down those rumors fast, stating that the claims about unpaid staff and poor leadership were completely false. She reminded everyone that the pandemic forced countless TV productions to make tough calls, and her show was no different. Around that same time, Tamron faced more heat after interviewing Joey Guglielmi, better known as Sherry Pie, a former RuPaul's Drag Race contestant, disqualified after serious allegations surfaced. Critics accused her of giving a platform to controversy, but Tamron stood firm. She defended the interview, saying her show's purpose was to host conversations with all kinds of people, even those who made serious mistakes, because redemption and accountability deserve to be discussed too. The drama didn't stop there. A few years earlier, in 2017, an Instagram photo of Tamron posing with a black Santa Claus statue stirred up heated debate online. Some called the post controversial, while others praised it for celebrating representation during the holidays. Tamron chose not to feed into the outrage, letting the noise pass quietly. Then, in a surprising turn, she got real again, this time about her health. She revealed that she had been dealing with a parasitic infection called blastocystis hominis, which was affecting her daily life. Her candidness again struck a chord with viewers, showing that even under the bright lights of fame, Tamron Hall still faced the same battles as everyone else and wasn't afraid to talk about them. Even with all the chaos and controversy swirling around her name, Tamron Hall never backed down. She just kept pushing forward. In 2021, she took her storytelling skills to a new level by hosting Someone They Knew, a gripping true crime series on Court TV that showed off her raw investigative instincts. The show proved that Tamron Hall could still command attention, not just as a talk show host, but as a powerful voice for truth and justice. Then, in April 2024, life threw her another surprise. A small grease fire broke out on her studio set, forcing an unexpected evacuation. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and Tamron handled it like a seasoned pro she is, calm, collected, and quick to reassure her audience on air. Her poise under pressure reminded everyone exactly why she's been able to thrive in an industry that can eat people alive. By this point, Tamron Hall had done what few could. She rebuilt herself from the ground up, balancing career reinvention, personal happiness, and relentless public scrutiny. From local newsrooms in Texas to the national spotlight, she became a journalist, talk show host, and producer who refused to let setbacks define her. She's lived through heartbreak, rumors, workplace drama, health scares, and viral controversy. But every time she's come out stronger, more focused, and even more determined. Tamron Hall's story is a mix of success and struggle, fame and fragility, a reminder that behind every headline is a human being fighting to keep going.
From small-town Texas to national TV glory, Tamron's journey proves that resilience isn't about never falling. It's about standing tall after every hit. If you found her story inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Tell us what part of Tamron Hall's journey surprised you the most.